Hey gang, it's a beautiful sunny day and we're about 100 miles outside of Chicago heading towards Rockford, Illinois, driving down the beautiful country roads looking for an old cemetery. And it's called Blood's Point. It's supposed to be haunted, but I do know this, it's got some old tombstones. And isn't it fun to drive the country roads and just watch the farmers and the action and see the open space, places we haven't been before. It's quite the adventure. Well, we're gonna be at the cemetery in about 5 minutes. It's a very old cemetery, 1830s, cool stories. So we'll check it out. See you in a bit. Okay, we're coming up on our destination now at Blood's Point Cemetery, and we have to thank Brian Christensen and Jim Albright. Thanks guys for giving us the suggestion to see this place, and it looks very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Well, let's check it out. Here's the gate. No trespassing after dark, guys. And we squeeze through to announce that we are in. All right. So they say this is a haunted cemetery. Well, it may be, but we're mainly here to look at some tombstones, and I will tell you some background of the cemetery, some of the stories. So come on, let's take a walk. There looks like there's some really old, cool tombstones here, and we can start with this right here. Howard Shannon. Let's see here, Howard A. Shannon, May 17th, 1854 to July 27th, 1904. And looks like Charlotte, wife of Howard. She was born in 1858, January 13th, and passed April 1st, 1898. And we see Clarence, who died in 1898, Kitty, died in 1900, and Adelbert in 1903. So a lot of names with this monument, and as you look down, we see interesting stones for each of them. They look like trees that were cut down right at the root, at the base. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. And I don't know if this is by accident, but Adelbert, how old is Adelbert? 1890 to 1903, he was 13 years old, and somebody left a Reese's candy for him. Very interesting. It's a giant Woodman of the World statue here with the Shannon name on it. It's pretty big. What do we have here? Another very old stone. So they say that the first pioneer that came from the east, the very first man, is Arthur Blood. Thus the name of the cemetery after him. And they say that, well, the story goes that he had kids, and they were friends with this old woman, and the old woman was actually blamed for some bad stuff that happened here. I think it was in 1843, where all the animals were dying and the crops were dying, and it was just, they all blamed it on her, said she was a witch. So the story is that to save their souls, and she told them, and I don't know if it was all of them or just her, but there's a railroad trestle, and either they all were hung there or she was hung there. But the big story of this cemetery, here at these gates are guarded by what's referred to as hell dogs or demon dogs. And they say that no matter how fast you drive by, these dogs can keep up with your car. And once you get bit, they disappear. So watch out for the devil dogs. Hopefully they only come at night. I don't want to get bit. It's a very old stone. We might be able to read this. Looks like it says Olivia. There is a lot of moss on here. Lichens. Should be able to read that. We've got a sun almost at 90 degrees here. Got some good shadowing. And the relief of those letters are pretty good. But looks like I think I see an 1870. Not sure. I see a lot of Shannons. I hope we can run across the blood. I don't know if the blood family's here. There's got to be a gravestone, so we'll look for it. Now the other story that goes here, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to debunk it. There's story about a school, it might be that bridge right over there, where a school bus went over the railroad or something, the trestle, and the school bus with the kids, and it went down, and they all died. And then if you drive your car and go at night, you stop on the bridge, you put it in neutral, you hear the kids crying or laughing, whatever, and your car starts to move. And basically the kids want to make sure you're safe and get you off the bridge, so the car moves on its own in neutral. Now, the reason I'm going to debunk it is because it's just a copied story, in my opinion. The original story, I just happen to know this, and I may go there for next Halloween, is called Crybaby Bridge. Crybaby Bridge is in Monmouth, Illinois, and it's the same story, same exact story, and that's where it originated, not here. So people are, making stuff up and applying it where they want to apply it. Hey, and you know what? If I'm wrong and it really happened here and down there, comment, let me know. I will eat crow. I'll eat my hat. That's fine. But I don't think so. So these stories, this particular one, cool cemetery, but orbs and lights. I'm sorry, you got to really prove that stuff to me. I'm actually more into looking at the old tombstones anyway, and history. But hey, that stuff might have happened. Who knows? Cannot read that one. There's some old ones over here that look interesting. Might be able to read these. I'm gonna step back here. Yeah, look at this. It's a beautiful stone. There's a pair. There's a big one and a small one. It says wife. Francis Haserot. My wife. Get to the side here. I don't know if you can read that. Wife of F.S. Weber? F.S. Weber, it looks like. There's a very tiny stone here. I'm gonna guess this would be a child. I'm gonna point this down more. I don't know if we can read that. It's not legible, at least from my perspective. Yeah, that's the Weber family plot here. Now look at this over here. I imagine, yep, this is the family plot for the Graves family. And it's a book on logs. Look at that. That is really something else. Well, this is the centerpiece of the cemetery. And if we look at the book, we got a lot of names on here. We have Samuel S. Graves, 1806 to 1895. 1806, wow. And Hannah's 1809 to 1895. So now we're really, they had to be with Arthur Blood, the original. George H. Graves, 1841 to 1899. Verena, his wife, 1851 to 1885. Thad Graves was 1872 to 1957. And Elnetta B. Graves, 1874 to 1952. And you see here we've got everybody's grave marker with these chopped logs. Looks like everybody is represented here. Let's key in on some more old markers. This one looks readable, missing its top. Simon Lovett. Died March 19th, 1897. 90 years old. It's pretty old. Especially for back then. Alice M. Looks like. I cannot read. I see 1898. It looks like age 26 years old. Alice. Daughter. I don't know. What does it say there? I don't think that's daughter. It says something of. Yeah, daughter. Abbreviation. Daughter of. Gabland. Wow. Look at this. Wife of Leonard Wythe, W-I-T, W-H-L-T-I-N-G, it looks like. Died, I think that says 1804. Wow. If that was 1804, that would be a 1700s birth, guys. By far, the days of the pirates. I love that. It's another couple of old ones. Boy, these old pioneer cemeteries just amaze me. Here's one that we can read. It's buried in the ground. This looks like September 8th, 18 something. So many years, 5. Let's see, hold on. Looks like one year. This is a child, yeah. 1 year, 5 months. It says 5 months, 21 days. This might be 2 kids. Not sure. I see the word Joseph at the top, so I'm guessing it's a boy. Now let's look at a few more. What's nice is there's a residence right next door here. There's a farm across the street, so they're keeping an eye on this place because, of course, it's going to get the vandals. This is Irene M. Norton. February 12th, 1896, she passed. And I think 86 years and 8 days, or 18 days. I'm reading that correctly. Mila Ann, wife of Charles D. Gibbs. Look at that. Died in 18, I can't read the bottom, guys. Cannot read that. Probably can read it on the camera. Here's Lucas. Died October 26, 1860 something. Age, looks like 15 years, 4 months, 3 days. 15, it looks like a 15. Child, young man, young girl. Oh, it said son of, so that would be a young man. There's another stone. Died in 1874, age 26. This is Ephraim A. Robinson. Yeah. Age 26 years, 11 months, 13 days. Wow. Don't you wish there were pictures? Wouldn't that be great? Here's one more, or a couple more. John Case, C-A-S-E. Died January 20th, 1869. He was 83 years old and 8 months. And that stone is holding up pretty well considering the climate we have here. There's a lot of stones in the ground. Not sure if you can read that. Looks like it says Sherman something. Age, well, died August, I don't know if that's, yeah, August 18th. Gosh, can't even read it. 18 something. 23 years. So many days. So many people died of the diseases, yellow fever, typhoid, later on tuberculosis. Here's Nathan Orton. July 12th, 1811, it looks like. Wow. Oh, this is wife of, so J-O-L, Julia. Jalia? I think that's an O. J-O-L-I-A. Wife of Nathan Orton. July 12th, 1811, it looks like. And unfortunately, I can't see how old she was. Perhaps you guys can see. Some people say take a toothbrush, start scrubbing, do a stone rubbing. I'm going to go on my rant again. Don't do any of that. I'm against that. You're gonna, for your own selfish reason, ruin these graves little by little. Unless it's for a museum or posterity, something that's going on record, census, fine. But if you start pushing on these and rubbing, there's stress fractures at the bottom. That's why you see some of these. It's not the only reason. That's why you see some of these, like, this is a perfect example where it's broken off at the bottom and laying there. I'm not saying people doing rubbings, it's their fault, but you're adding to the problem. And don't be scrubbing. I will admit, when I was early on, I went up and I started rubbing on this off, and guess what came off? A whole bunch of particles, part of the gravestone. So anyway, that's my rant. It's actually illegal, almost illegal in some states. Well, New Hampshire, there's some things to talk about with the law there. So what do we got here? Can we read that? Age. Yeah, you might be able to read that. I cannot. All right, looks like we've got a couple more. Dennis Kelly. Age. Boy, again, it's really hard to say. Cannot tell. Looks like 30. I can't tell. Cannot tell how old. Let's see if we can read this one. Sun's coming in at a good angle for shadows here. Beautiful spot under the tree. It looks like I can't read the name. Now, this is a tough one to read. It says Isa Sandall, and it looks like June 13, 1880. That's what I'm seeing on this line here. But again, it's pretty much worn away through the history of time. So, all right, gang. Have a wonderful week. Great seeing you again. Signing off. Stay safe, all right?